Hi again. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna post up another video quite soon after, which I'm doing right now. Um, right. My idea was, if you watched the video before, you would have understood. But my idea is, I mean, these questions have probably been asked a million times before on this site, but my idea is to ask you guys some questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of answer how I'd answer them as well now. And ask some questions, get you thinking a little bit, and then comment like you guys' answers, and your reasons and la di da di da. And we'll have a little bit of a sort of discussion thing going on. Yeah, and then what I'll do is, once I've read you guys' answers, I will post up another video sort of responding to them. Okay, just might be some fun. Don't knock it till you tried it. It's a good distraction if you need to be distracted. Right. Firstly, I mean, a question that's probably been asked over and over and over again. How did this all start for you guys? How did your sort of eating disorder begin? What triggered it off? I mean, personally, for myself, as I said, I'm not going to get really too much into my story yet, because I want to make sure that I'm explaining it all in the correct way. But just for a little insight, personally, I didn't actually realise, I know it sounds crazy, but I didn't actually realise that I was, you know, eating in a disordered fashion. It was strange because I'd sort of met a previous ex-boyfriend who I'll tell you all more about at the time, but I'd sort of met him and I was going out with him, and it was a really sort of bad relationship, and I was striving, I think, to make sure he didn't leave me, to be perfect in every way. And honestly I did not think there was anything wrong at all, but I was quite you know, chubby when I was younger, sort of at the beginning of my relationship with him. And I was sort of, you know, I was getting a bit older, teenager-y, and I was trying to sort of lose a bit of weight, but nothing over the top. And I was exercising as well. I was doing like workouts and stuff like that. But honestly, I didn't really realise what this was becoming. I didn't realise that I had a problem until my mum took me to the doctors. When my mum took me to the doctors, even though I argued against what they were trying to tell me, that's when I realised I actually have an eating disorder. I have one. And that's when I started going into it. You know, perhaps it's because I knew at that point, but that's when I started sort of, you know, just getting deeper into it. And that's when my life changed. That's when it all changed for me. I could, for some reason, then see I hadn't been eating anything all day apart from like a quarter of my dinner plate. I could then see that I was over exercising, doing my workouts like 3 times a day. The only thing I couldn't see is that I was underweight. I couldn't see that. I honestly just couldn't see it. But yeah, it's not the full story. I will tell you the full story, but that's how I sort of, you know, that's how it sort of started for me. So, answer this question, as I said. How did it all start for you? What were the triggers? What started it? What started your eating disorder? So, make sure you answer that question. Okay? The next question I'm going to ask, as I said, these questions have probably been asked before. This is just giving me, you know, something to to see you guys better, and something for you guys to do to maybe make yourselves see things better, and even if it's just basically for a distraction. But the second thing, what's the craziest thing you've ever done because of or for your eating disorder? What's the craziest sort of thing you've done to, you know, help yourself, you know, trying to achieve something? If you don't understand that question, basically I'll give you some examples of the things I've done. I have silly things. I've purposely burnt my tongue. I'm probably going to sound like a crazy person. Yeah, I've purposely burnt my tongue before, so I actually couldn't eat at all. I couldn't put anything in my mouth, it hurt so much. That helped. What's another crazy thing I've done? Bear with me, I'm gonna think. I have you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I've eaten clearly off, out of date meat before. Honestly, you could just see that it was out of date, to purposefully, one, make sure that my mum could, you know, I could get off from eating. She wouldn't mind if I wasn't eating because I was really sick. Two, the fact that I was being sick a lot was helping a lot. Three, what was my third reason? Three was losing weight, obviously, because I wasn't eating and I was throwing up, and it was good. It was crazy because no one really wants to throw up, you know, and actually have a bellyache. But yeah, I have locked myself in my room. I locked myself in my room and I threw the key out the window because I was feeling sort of a binge coming on, and I've done that, and that was at a point where no one was in my house with me for a few days, so I was like locked in basically. I had water and stuff, but I'm a crazy woman. What else have I done? I don't know. There's loads of little things that we all do, little things. I suppose I haven't done anything too crazy, but, you know, is there any little things like that? So the question again to you guys, what's the sort of craziest or crazy things that you do to, I don't know, not just stop yourself from eating, but to keep yourself distracted or to cover up your ED? What's the, like, you know, the craziest things you've done to sort of make sure that nobody knows about it? Or what's the craziest things you've done to make sure that you don't give in to binges and stuff like that? So that's another question for you guys. And I mean, I'm only going to ask one more question, but I'm sure this one will probably strike up a lot of conversation and topics, seeing as this has been a topic for a long time. What are your individual views on anorexics? What's your view on this whole topic? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss my views on that in another video, because that will probably be a long video. I mean, what's your views on the whole? How do you feel about these girls that sort of come onto our sort of space, our community, you know, community on Pretty Thin, and you know, want quick tips and quick methods? What do you feel about them? How do you personally feel about them? How do you all personally also feel about how, you know, we're so like cautious of them? And how do you feel about how the whole rules on the site are, and just what's your view on that? I mean, what do you think about these girls that, you know, do this or want this or whatever? But yeah, there's a few questions for you to get you thinking. Please comment back and answer them. I don't want to seem like a crazy person that's just asking herself questions. I also just really quickly want to take the time to say, because of, these, like I just was talking about, anorexics and stuff like that, I do get worried. I always constantly think everybody's onto me. But I just want to say again that I am genuine. I've had this for, like I've told you before, 6 years. If people, because I'm also posting these videos on YouTube, so I mean, if people watch my video on YouTube and they think I'm just some sort of attention-seeking girl that wants to do a video, I'm honestly not. I do suffer. I know I put on a bit of a happy face and I'm like, yeah, but I suffer every day. I have a hard time. I just don't like to show it, and I don't want to, I don't want to. I don't want people to think that I'm a liar or I'm a fake, because Actually, that makes me think of another question to you guys. Have you ever, or have any of you ever, come to the point where you actually have spoken to someone about your disorder, but they've sort of made you, given you the impression that they think you're lying, or that sort of thing? Has that have ever happened to any of you? Because that's why I'm actually explaining this to you, because it's happened to me before. People have said to me, you don't have an eating disorder, you're this, or you're that, or you smile too much, or you're not depressed, or you whatever, look at you. And it's not nice, because they don't know me, so they don't know what I've been doing for the past 6 years. But yeah, has that ever happened to any of you? But anyway, I'm going to stop now, because again, it's another long video. But answer the questions, comment back. If you don't, I'm coming to get all of you. But yeah, have fun, be really open, don't worry, everyone here is here for you, and we all love you, and I love you. So answer the questions. Bye.